Very good morning, children. So here we are with our Tuesday's video. We have started with the chapter Geometry and we have been progressing in this chapter, and now we are on the topic of measuring angles, which is on page number 123. Now, measuring angles for you people is a very new concept. I have tried my best to explain it in the video. And of course, during tomorrow's live session also, we will practice live there how to measure an angle. Okay, so for this, children, first let's see what I have got in store for you. So here, measuring angles. For this, we need a protractor, which is also called as D. If you look in your geometry box, don't trouble your parents to go and buy the geometry box. If you already have, there is an instrument, a plastic one, a scale material जैसा बना रहता है. उसी material का there is this protractor here. And otherwise, you can just go and buy the protractor from the shopkeeper uncle, from the stationery shop. Need not children buy the complete geometry box. We don't need it, children. Okay, scale you already had, and we need a protractor, which you get individually also. You can just buy that. Okay, don't trouble your parents. Mama, geometry chapter has started. We need a geometry box. No, it is not at all compulsory to have a geometry box. Just a protractor is more than enough. Remember what we call it, a protractor, which is also called as D. Now the unit of measure of an angle is in degrees. Okay, it's not the temperature degree. Yes, of course, it's written the same way, but this is the distance between the two arms, the angle gap that is created between two arms, which we have discussed in our last video and in yesterday's live session also, that the unit of measure of angle is in degrees. Okay, 30 degree, 60 degree, 90 degree. Now that does not mean the temperature is 30 degree. It's the measure of an angle. Next, if you look at this protractor, it looks like a semicircle. Adha circle. The total number of degrees on this semicircle is 180. Sorry, मुझसे थोड़ा सा cut हो गया है. But the total number of degrees on this semicircle is 180. You can hold the protractor right now in front of your eyes. And as I said, you have to keep it in yesterday's live session itself. So it just looks like a semicircle. That are lots of units drawn, like in case of scale. Scale में 1 to 10, 1 to 15 according to the size of the scale. But protractor में 0 to 180 होता है. एक लाइन ऊपर की तरफ होती है, एक clockwise होती है, एक anti-clockwise होती है. If you see properly, I am showing you through the arrow. This is anti-clockwise, 180 to 0, and clockwise is like this. Okay, clockwise 0 to 180, and this is 0 to 180. The outer one is anti-clockwise, the inner one is, sorry, yes, and the inner one is, I'm extremely sorry, the outer one is clockwise and the inner one is anti-clockwise, that is ulta. I repeat, I'm sorry. The outer one is clockwise and the inner one is anti-clockwise, that is ulta from 0 to 180. Okay. Now, depending on the ray, you have to decide whether you have to look at the upper scale or the lower scale. That we will learn. Okay. Let's move to the next one, depending on what ray I have to decide. Now, if you look, an angle is made up of two rays, which I've already explained you. We label the angle with three uppercase letters. We usually use uppercase letters, like in this case, angle X. I'll use my arrow. Angle X, Y, Z, or you can also call it as Z, Y, X, and it is also called as angle Y, जहां पर आपका vertex है. Y is the vertex, जहां पर दो rays मिल रहे हैं, that is called as a vertex, and you can also call it by vertex name, that is angle Y. Okay. Now, again, YZ. YZ is the base of the angle, and XY or YX is the moving angle. What is it? It's a moving ray. This one is YZ or ZY is the base. Okay, it's the base of the angle, and YX or the XY is the moving ray of the angle. This moves, if this moves towards the inner side, if this moves towards the inner side, then the ray or the measure of the angle reduces. If this moves towards the outer side, then if this moves towards the inner side, the measure of the angle reduces. And if this moves towards the outer side, the measure of the angle increases. Okay, another thing. Let's see one more slide here and then I'll go to the explanation. That is, this is your angle. Okay, I have not named it right now. Now, this is right now the straight. This is right now the straight one. Okay, now when it is straight, what happens is, as I said, when it goes inwards, the measure of the angle decreases, and when it goes outward, the measure of the angle increases. Okay. Now, when the measure of the angle increases, when it's dropping, when this particular ray is dropping towards the left side, that time you use the outer scale of the protractor. And when this ray is on the inner side, that is towards the right side, you use the inner side of the angle of the protractor to measure. You will see. Don't worry, children. This is just something that I'm telling you verbally. But yes, I am going to demonstrate right now how do we do it. But please remember, this is the base of the angle. This is the moving arrow of the angle. If it drops towards the inside, the measure of the angle reduces. If it moves towards the outer side, the measure of the angle increases. When it's on the inner side, you measure with the inner side of the scale of the protractor, and when it's out at the outer side, you use the outer side of the protractor to measure it. Let's see how it happens. I will show you. Let's move over ahead. I hope it will get a little more interesting for you. You have to give me a moment. Just give me a moment, please. I'm not so well versed. Okay. So what is the measure of the angle? I hope my screen is, yes, my screen is visible. So what is the measure of the angle given here is MLK, sorry, MLN. You can see this here. You can see this. We are measuring this particular angle. Okay, we are measuring this particular angle, that is angle MLN. Now, as I told you, children, as I told you, who is the base here? Who is the base here? LN is the base here. Who is the base here? LN is the base here. And who is the moving arm here? ML is the moving arm here. Okay. And this is what we have to measure. Okay. So let's see how it goes about. You're going to keep the D and we are going to pick up a protractor and we have to, who is the vertex here? The vertex here is L. So the center line of the D is going to be placed on L. The center point of the D, we are measuring M, L, N, where L is the vertex and the green portion is the angle that we have to measure. Okay. So here it goes. Again, I'm repeating. L and N is the base. ML is the moving arm. So we pick up the protractor and we place it on the vertex L. Which point do I place it on the vertex L? We'll just have a look here. Yes, this is my L and I am going to put it here, my center point. See the moving arm, ML. See the moving arm, ML. It is at 60. Where it is? It is at 60. Children, it is not at 120. It is at 60. We have to go and we have to go anti-clockwise. Okay, we are going to move like this. So we are going to start from 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Now children, I would like to tell you one thing. There are protractors in which जो बड़े numbers हैं मतलब उल्टा पुल्टा भी हो सकता है मतलब कि like here in this 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, it's coming on the outer side of the scale and the bigger numbers are coming at the lower side of the scale, but it can be reversed. But you have to remember that this is, you are going to go anti-clockwise. मतलब आप यहाँ से start करके move करेंगे. So obviously you're going to start from 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 and you see that the arm LM coincides at 60, at the ray 60 of the protractor. So the measure of the angle is 60 in this particular case. अगर यही स्केल डाउन साइड होता था तो भी आप उसको 60 ही मेजर करेंगे. You are not going to call it as 120 children. The point is you're going to start counting from zero. अब वो स्केल आपके इनर साइड में है चाहे आउटर साइड में है, डिफरेंस रहता है. बहुत सारे ब्रांड्स के हिसाब से प्रोट्रैक्टर में फर्क रहता है. You have to remember to start counting from zero finished. अब वो इनर साइड ऑफ द स्केल है कि आउटर साइड ऑफ द स्केल है, you have to start counting from zero. Okay, is that clear to you all? You just take your count from there. If I try to take my count from here like this, still it is 60 only. Even if I'm trying to take count 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 and so on 70, it's coming to be 60 only. Outside देखना है आप. Sorry, don't get confused with that. It's going to 120 only. I'll not confuse you. The reverse, no, will not go like that. Sorry. If you go clockwise, let's not get confused. I'm sorry for this. We will start counting from zero and we will move anti-clockwise only. Please, okay? Don't think much about it. Don't follow anything else. So I hope this is clear. I'm sorry for the confusion. I will not confuse you. वैसा भी करते हैं, but I will not do that confusion. We will start counting from zero, and right now, this is where it's coinciding. So the measure of the angle is 60. I hope this part is clear to you. I will show you one more. Now this angle, I have not labeled it, but it looks straight. This is looking absolutely straight. ठीक है, अब देखो यहाँ पर उल्टा हो गया. ये डी में देखा आपने, बड़े नंबर्स ऊपर आ गए, छोटे नंबर्स नीचे चले गए. लास्ट जी में उल्टा था, बट children with the brand it changes. Okay, now if I am placing, I can see again, I will start counting. So that's why I'm showing both the protractor to you. In your textbook, the protractor that is given, uske out, it's like this. It's exactly like this, but changes aate hain. So when I place it, I will start counting. The point is I will go anti-clockwise like this. I will start counting from 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, and here it goes 90. Here it comes at 90. Okay, let's see. Let's see one more measure here. This angle is again, I am not labeling it in purposely because right now the labeling I have already explained you. Right now measuring is more important. Now see here, I have placed it. Okay, again you are going to go anti-clockwise like this. You start going to count from 0. So 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and here I am at 60. Here I am at 60. So what is the measure of the angle? Right now, what here it's shown is 60. Don't get confused with the outer line. You have to remember to move anti-clockwise and start your count from 0. The finger is at 0. Now see, it's at 0, then 10, 20, 30, 40, 60. उल्टा कब गिनते हैं वो हम आपको 5th 6th स्टैंडर्ड में सिखाएंगे. ओके, अभी दिखा देते हैं. Now see here, again the vertex is being placed. Now this time you have to go moving anti-clockwise. Okay, increase the rays. कभी कभी होता है rays are smaller, so you should increase the ray size so that you can see with what it's coinciding. See, we have done this in the video, and now is the time for you to move like this. 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and the measure of the angle is 145. I'll stop here. I'll stop here because I don't want to confuse you all more. And rewind a bit. And here we go up to 145 is the measure of the angle. Okay, 145 is the measure of the angle. So I hope children something somewhere I hope I have helped you all out. But of course, till we don't do it live, we will not be able to understand it so well. So tomorrow on a app that is called as a math pad, on math pad we will do exercise 6.2, where a few angles are given and you have to find out the measurement of those angles, and I'm going to do it live with you all, that specific exercise. So keep your D, a sharpened pencil and an eraser ready with you. Okay, and we will do it live so that you can understand it better. And don't worry, मैम कैसे सिखाएगी, मैम मैथ्स पैड पे मैम के पास भी प्रोट्रैक्टर रहने वाला है, मैम के पास भी सेम मेजर ऑफ एंगल रहने वाले. So absolutely don't worry, exactly what angles are given in the textbook will be done with you during the live session. At least I hope somewhere I have helped you here, and we'll learn more tomorrow. Thank you children, have a good day.